And now, the moment we've been waiting for. Let us now welcome the teams of RTC Women's FC and PARO Women's FC. I would like to kindly request our Honorable Chief Guest to move to the pitch to officially grace the opening ceremony of the BoB Bhutan, Bank of Bhutan Women's National League. Request our Honorable Chief Guest and other delegates to please move to the pitch to officially grace the opening ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're able to stand, please stand up for the national anthem of Bhutan.
ladies and gentlemen, Kusangpu and welcome. It has been a long drought since we have seen Britney's football in action in our national leagues. And what better matchup to kick things off than the highly anticipated matchup between the top two of the Women's National League last season, between the champions RTC Women's FC in blue versus PARO Women's FC in red. Both teams definitely have fresh strength, fresh signings amongst their rosters. Only one of the few teams to have made their announcements public, I believe. But at the same time, we are seeing plenty of new joinings, especially in the PARO women's side. They have 4 joinees from the Bhutan Football Federation Academy side. Diksha in goal, Kezang Tsering, their captain, Tsering Pelden, and Miche Khandu, whom they signed from the BFF Academy, some of them returners from their youth side. They also have a signing over from Transport United, Sangat Dema, the giant at centre back, now this season joining the PARO women's jersey. Hopefully these signings will be able to help PARO FC make a more dominant run in the women's side. The men's side, no question whatsoever, but their women's did fall short to this very same RTC FC women's side. Most of these returners, Dickon Hassan, last season's MVP, is donning number 19 for RTC women's this time as well. We are seeing a return of a couple of players. We did see plenty of the players on the starting 11s for both teams today. Face off against Macau recently. Both clubs did have a couple of their own individual campaigns as well. So no question as to whether both of these teams are in form as they head into the opening here at Chang Limitang today. Also, on another note, happy Teachers Day to all the teachers who are in profession and to any person who've ever helped pull another man or woman up. Massive congratulations, massive gratitude from my side on today's occasion of Teachers Day as we prepare for kickoff at the center line here at Chang Limit.
The moment we've been waiting for. Let the countdown begin.
And there is Kelsang Tsering, the new signing, immediately posted up at captain for PARO Women's. Sent it back, but it is possession immediately for RTC Women's. There is a returner for the side of RTC as well. Kilizang's solid sisterhood. We did see the loss of her sister over to Australia, the Australian diaspora. But it is plenty of strong football genes in her family. She herself a very notable player on that right back. Her sister was one of the key cornerstones for women's football in Bhutan, Chungku, as you all may know. Another one of their sisters is a part of Transport United management. So safe to say that that family is pretty much on par with one of the best footballing families in the nation, but there is a costly mistake from her side so far. Heavy pressure on that right back, but solid performance from Kinizangmo. Despite the shaky start, possession still safely with RTC Women's. They have the capabilities as champions. There is Dikil Hazum, who we know is capable of putting the ball in the back of the net. We've seen multiple outings from her where she's had multiple goals. Even in that recent outing against Macau, she's put her name on the score sheet multiple times. In that dramatic 10-0 victory in their international campaign. And Dekil Azum will definitely be one of the players we need to keep an eye on here. Also, sincere apologies for the issues with the mic earlier on. We did have some difficulties, but it seems to be working now. Now that the season has officially begun, do let us know which teams you will be rooting for. Both women's and men's sides have made their entire announcements with their entire rosters. In the men's side, we did see Transport United make very late announcements, but it did come in a blitz. Plenty of new signings, but they did seem to shift their focus over to youth development, which is an approach we are not seeing with the major teams, especially in the top 4 teams of both men's and women's side. But it is especially heartwarming to see the women's side this time joining a majority local side. Early attempt from the new captain Kezan Sitting. Thought to test Maya out, but not quite. Could have had a bit more power, but definitely one of the icebreakers to a game with high expectations. There is Tojirin. Solid power on that right foot, but just a tad too far out. Definitely capable personnel. Solid roster for RTC Women's. It did end last year's season with a bang in that final clash against Transport United ladies. And the fact that they have a very amazing crowd section here at Changlimethang is a factor to watch out for. This is an away match for both. We are not playing at the home advantage for both teams. There is that early shot deflection, unfortunate. Sangadema, I believe, and it will go out for the first corner. And it will be taken by Namgadema after that match against Macau. Her shot, you probably saw it. A shot from distance went super viral and deservingly so, as that corner is placed back post. Does have the personnel to get under it, but not quite enough contact. Ball goes back and it is PARO Women's safely securing possession of the ball this time. Close call there for RTC. Definitely could have made a better use of that advantage from the set piece, but it will be PARO FC. Brilliant throw in, but it was easily intercepted by Somlholm at distance. A bit too off. Definitely a shot PARO FC has to respect. No shortage of attempted heroics so far in this match. Just a personal observation, but it is definitely, well, at least comparing to our international competition and to our brethren in our neighboring countries, the women's sides are actually better performing on the actual matches compared to the men's side. Although the men are physically more capable, they do seem to suffer from a bit of performance anxiety from time to time, which has not been the case for the women's side. Their passing in their international campaigns has been sharp, their finishing and their confidence has been extreme, and especially in that last outing, these views have simply been reinforced. And hopefully this season, with all the time they got in the off season to work on their craft, work on their game, we are going to see much better football from the ladies of the land of the Thunder Dragon. RTC, pressure up front. It is Namgadema. Brilliant run. Had two up front, including Namgadema, and just unfortunate, it was an opportunity turned over to PARO. There's Sangadema, a signing from Transport United. Definitely one of the tallest players in the women's league. Held the fort down for Transport United ladies last season, helped them in the campaign in Nepal, in the South Women's Club Championship, and this time her talents being tested for the side of Paro Women's. We will be looking to make a championship run this time. Last season they did fall short to RTC, as I said again if you didn't follow. Hopefully we will see a much better showdown, and as such, as I re-emphasize on this point, no better matchup to kick things off, as there is that run on that right side. Brilliant cross in, there is that touch, not quite enough. It was Nangadema to challenge, but plenty of intimidation from the goalkeeper. Job well done from Diksha. And it is an opportunity to brilliant assist there on that right from the Hustle. There is that ball again. But brilliant timing on that challenge. And RTC do manage to get that corner again, the second of this match already. Second set piece, corner, played right up on the post, and it is a goal right from the corner! No better statement than an opening goal inside the first 10 minutes from the champions of the Women's League. RTC, solid pressure, and RTC rewarded with their first goal. Solid goalkeeping from Diksha for Paro Women's. Just a bit late on that timing and that effort from the corner. Straight in. Brilliant win from Pim Kinzang. That aerial battle ball sent out to Kinle. Zangmo plays it to her line. It is Nangadema up front again. Has pace, sends that cross in. Slightly unfortunate, and it is back out for a goal kick.
Goal for RTC Women's FC, scored by jersey number 18, 3 empty.
Unfortunate loss there. Here's the captain, considering, decides that she wants some help. Buster's not going back to her, unfortunate, and it is Kilizongmo. RTC solid possession so far. Paro FC definitely looking like they are in the midst of some sort of confusion. It is definitely taking them some time to get used to, but it is still only a 1-goal lead, and we know the roster of Paro FC. We know that the Paro Women's can come back into this game at any time. They are not the runners-up for no reason, as there is Ishibida on that run on the left. Might have been a bit too late on that through ball, and it is intercepted by Sangadema. Brilliant use of dominating physicality on that left wing to deny that attack. With that goal down, it should have been enough to wake the ladies of Paro Women's FC up. We have a solid turnaround here in Changlimita after that erratic weather in the last couple of days here in Thimphu, with that hail and that rain and all that flooding. Today has been an auspiciously favorable weather for the opening, as there is a slip up front. Brilliant challenge there. It is open net, and there is the second for RTC Women's. Devastation inside the first 15 minutes. Brilliant press there, won the ball back. Easy one touch to set up the shot middle. There, number 10. RTC Women's FC are the champions. This was not unexpected at all, but this early against the top 2 team in the last season, RTC Women's FC, I fear for the other teams in their matchups to come. For women's, the difference in conditioning and physicality obvious as there is that attempt down left. Namgadema is down, but it was clean challenges from all directions from PARO Women's, doing their level best to simply stay afloat. PARO FC do not have their international players they had last season. This is really showing the difference. Hard to see opportunity, but they do manage to get that throw in. PARO Women's definitely dominating the more scary side last season, if I may say so. I am from Santi, so I did see Santi Women's get devastated by 20-goal margins quite a lot. And this start from RTC FC is looking to change the narrative as there is that open net, but this time offside flag raised against RTC Women's. PARO Women's saved at the last line. Also, today's main referee is Charan Singh Charan, assisted by Prem Kumari Sunar. Second referee Kinzang Charan. Fourth official Mira Tamang. All showing, I believe. Brilliant run there. Yeshapita has that pace. The number 11 looking dangerous. Has that left foot. Might have been a bit too low, and not quite enough to beat the wall. There is Sange Tema. But RTC Women's do manage to get position back. Dojiden plays it back. So Maya captaining the RTC Women's side this time. Brilliant first touch there, but might not have been enough to beat the Giant again. Sange Dema, brilliant position from her to deny that opportunity. Her pass did send it out, but not quite enough composure from her partners. And dire first column of that bench has been occupied by the RTC cheer squad. And so far, the RTC Women's have not disappointed at all. Dojiden. Back to Sukmaya. There is Kinizangmo. Has that line to Namgadema. Has that option midfield as well. Decides to use it. Srin Yangchen. Already one goal to her name as she sets up Namgadema with that beautiful run. Looking for her teammates. Wanted an earlier run from Dikil Hassom. But that pass did not quite make it there, but it is Ishipita on that recovery. Tiklazom sends it back. Brilliant one touches from RTC. It is Tiklazom up front. Can she get it in? And yes, she does for RTC's third of this game. Still the 16th minute and RTC already up 3-0. 3 goals from 3 different players for RTC. RTC absolutely one-sided in this first half an hour so far.
Goal for RTC doublets, scored by jersey number
There
91.
is the chota, the marker that we've come to love on the scene of our Burmese football. Her size definitely not restricting her ability from shining through, even in international competitions. Massive respect to these ladies performing their level best, and RTC coming up on top, out on top, as there is Namgadema on that run again. She is quite far out, but we do know that she has an absolute cannon on her right foot. Cross intercepted. It is Trinladen, plays it back. Shot from distance, Ringyangchen. Could have powered up that shot a bit harder and it would have had a better shot, but so far so good. PARO FC finally looking sharp. Possession up front. It is Kazantsering taking advantage. How's that shot? The goalkeeper with the fingertips. Diksha Rai denying the first valiant efforts from PARO FC. 2 shots so far, both shots from Kazantsering. This one had the best chances of going in, fortunately. Apologies, the goalkeeper is coming here and a switch up the goalkeepers for PARO and RTC. Not bad. But again, Karmayudin, solid performance from the number 21. And it will be Kazantsering, the captain, taking that corner for her. To just have Sangidema posted inside. Hopefully they can use that height advantage of hers, but the shot, I believe, was a bit too low. Header off to that right. Brilliant cross from the captain. 2 attempts back to back for PARO Women's. Hopefully this can finally be the spark that they need to bring themselves back into this game. Close call there up front. RTC looking to widen that gap. PARO FC is one of the harder opponents they will have to watch out for in this Women's League. And the wider they can increase the gap between themselves and PARO, the better their odds will be coming back into this season with the win again, as there is that run, but it this time is offside. Brilliant run from Namgadema. Solid outing against Macau. I'm sure everyone must have seen that shot from distance, too far to think about. But this time she does have the speed advantage, so she will not have to rely on her long distance shots that much. Sangidema sees the space up to that right. Definitely space to take advantage of. Nonchalant pass there by Trinladen with that no look over to Dojidin. Deciding to switch things over to that right flank. Zamu, brilliant one touch. Back to Sugmaya, but it is intercepted. They do manage to win it back. This time, Namgadema was onside, but just far too back to commit to that run. PARO FC immediately resuming throwing. Kilazamu, brilliant physicality. But throw-in has been awarded to PARO Women's. So far, 3 goals. A goal each from Somnhamo, Namgadema and Dikilhazum. Apologies, Somnhamo, Tringyangchen and Dikilhazum. For RTC, they have plenty more personnel to take advantage of those paces. There is Sishibita with that pace. Down on that left, there is that goalkeeper for the horse races. Brilliant timing from Dekcha. beats Ishipida by the breadth of her hair. And it will be a throw-in for RTC Women's. Sringharan. Hamo. Just slightly too relaxed with that cross in. And it is a goal kick for PARO Women's. If there are any PARO fans, it is still only a 3-goal deficit, and in this women's league, especially with PARO Women's, we have seen that no lead is safe. Plenty more time to go, still only the 23rd minute in this game. Brilliant one touch. Just a tap too far out. Also, I would like to take this time while the game has quieted down. Please do subscribe to the Bhutan Football Federation channel if you haven't already. Also a massive shout out to our sponsors this time, BoB, Bank of Bhutan, Coca-Cola, our internet partners, Bhutan Telecom, and to our new clothing partners. If you've seen the post from Bhutan Football Federation, we are partnering with, I believe, a Danish organization, Hummel. Brilliant crossing. Also, do subscribe to the pages, the social media accounts of the teams participating in the league this time. They are investing heavily in their social media. All of their posts are interesting. So if you're an avid football fan, it will help to subscribe to yourselves to their social media accounts to keep up to date everything that is happening in Bhutanese football. Now back to the match. For women's, definitely struggling, hopefully not the case for their men's side. Brilliant challenge from Dojidin, brilliant footwork there from the Glazom. Does manage to get to that ball quick enough. Brilliant one touch, Glazom. Could have set it up with that one touch, but decided to take a time off to Sringharan. It is Ishi with a brilliant cut in. Has that space with that left shot. Slightly above. Dangerous, dangerous enough. For women's, up to the captain. Pass played a bit too hard, even for Gezetering. She has been the sole light at the end of the tunnel for PARO Women's. If they can manage to somehow get back into this match, it will be her who will have to lead the charge. Zammo on that throw-in. Glazom has that opportunity to set up Namgadema. Shot played high. RTC managed to win a throw-in off of that deflection. Here's Namgadema. Throw played short. Do manage to escape it beautifully. Sringharan on that switch, back to Ishibida. Does not like her options posting up. Sends it back to Doji Eden and they will reset back to Sugmaya. Brilliant footwork there to escape the pressure. Definitely showing levels of difference between the teams that were crowned champions and the teams that placed second last season. has the opportunity to set things up. Might have been a bit too relaxed on that pass. There is a substitution coming in for PARO FC. It is Oguntashi Yurin coming in, and coming off will be Jimmy Wongma, number 8. Homo manages to tap it off. Zangmo on that recovery, but Namgetema, unfortunate slip. After the barrage of goals in the first 20 minutes, we have seen a silent stretch in the last couple of minutes. RTC unable to find an answer on the opportunities they capitalized on early on. Definitely don't think that they will stop their scoring efforts here, so do let me know what you think the score predictions for this game will be, given how it's going. PARO FC yet to wake up. That pass again, easy reads for RTC Women's. Namgedema again, brilliant cut in, lost her defender, has that pace, has that space, but was a bit too late in sending that cross in. Sangadema sending it long again. Solid turnaround here in Jianglinwetang. It's packed full of students, packed full of especially the J squad from RTC. Had plenty of reasons to celebrate in the first couple of minutes, but it has died down. On the other hand, PARO they need a rejuvenation. Heading into this match, they must have had a game plan of some sort, but as it went down the drain, they will need to come up with something else. Pikalazom in midfield sends it off to Namge on the right. Namgedema has that pace, she knows she can beat that wing. Decides to send it back to Kilizangmo. Brilliant pass played up, but slightly offside, and it will be positioned back again for PARO Women's. Sangirema does not have that many options. Brilliant position from RTC to cover most of the landing area. Kilizangmo, unfortunate contact on that first ball. But with that challenge, throw-in has been awarded to RTC. Again, this time brilliant pass again, but again offside. RTC finally looking to make something this time. Sonam is onside, left foot, not quite enough power, and that flag has been raised. Offside, back to back to back. for RTC as they look to widen the gap. So far it is only 3. And given the sheer levels in difference, RTC can definitely make it much more than this. Dojiden, brilliant control there. Sringharen sends it off. Gramuden, brilliant possession there from the goalkeeper. Beat the press. Zangmo is very fast, but not that fast. That ball was sent miles ahead. She will have to recover. Good job from her teammates on covering zone. She does manage to get it back. And it is back to Dojiden. Sringhanen. Brilliant interception. Fantastic mind games from the number 9 to force that out of bounds. Ugintashi. It is Kamuden. RTC definitely slowing the pace, definitely saving energy for a more rampaging second half. But with their conditioning, they are simply outclassing the PARO women's side. And even in the bit more than 10 minutes that we have left, RTC are managing to create plenty of chances. Nangadema, shot deflected. But women's, at this point, they are wounded. They are backed into a corner. Simply wishing for a miracle to drag them out of this mess against RTC. Going to shoot it. Sona. Sringharen has the space if she wants to take the shot herself, but left foot not quite enough power, and it will be a goal kick. FC finally matching RTC women's in their relaxed state in terms of pressure. But right as I say it, RTC women's do up the ante, do up the pace. Nangadema on that right flank. Against Tashi, easy victory, has that cross in. Brilliant positioning from Michikandu to send it off for a corner. Just a couple feet inside, and it would have been an own goal, but I do hope sincerely that it was fully intentional in sending in that direction, as that cross comes in from that corner again, this time placed perfectly. It is Ishibida. Sends it out, right foot shot, and the 4th for RTC inside the first half. Brilliant decisions all around. And it is Tring Yangchen rewarded with her 2nd. Brilliant decision to send it off. Stunning confidence to go for goal. Had the goalkeeper beat, no chance for PARO whatsoever in stopping that shot. It is again RTC now that they finally have a goal to their name after that silence. They will be like a wolf pack, hounding their victims, hounding their prey, as there is a brilliant through ball played out. Kezan Singh does have that pace on her, but brilliant check from the captain Sukmaya to deny that attacking opportunity, and it is Kinizamo. Pass played out on Sring Yangchen. Brilliant positioning from the number 18. Has been in the middle of every connecting pass so far for RTC. Her presence definitely crucial, as that long distance effort from Somlamo is in vain. So far RTC has Sring Yangchen with 2 goals, and Dekalazum with 1, and Somlamo with 1 to her own. With the opportunity that this match is presenting, the players in the starting 11 for RTC will be looking to up their stats as much as possible. Because if you know, in the game of football, goals are hard to come by, and against an opponent where you know, where you have the confidence, where you can absolutely dominate them, you should. And RTC doing absolutely that, as there is Yishabida on that left flank, just a tad too forward on that delivery. Had the personnel inside. But it does get sent out for a goal kick, and it will be resumption for PARO FC. The smallest of breathing rooms for the Tigresses. Somlamo, brilliant control. Namgidema, not quite, but does manage to keep it alive. Scattered positioning from PARO FC. RTC definitely taking advantage of all the space they are getting. Their mistakes are not going punished. They are making poor touches from time to time, but without that pressure coming from PARO Women's, they have capitalized every opportunity they got, as there is that brilliant through ball. Could it be their 5th? And it is! 5 goals inside the first half for RTC Women's. And this time it is Pema Kinzangchoki with her first goal of the match. Looking at the scoreline, nobody would believe that these two teams were placed champions and runners-up in the last season. It has been absolutely merciless coming from the side of RTC Women's. They did not come here to play at all. PARO refocusing their efforts in the back is answering. Their captain did play up front early on, but has repositioned out to the weaker right flank. Ishabida answering Ladan has been a devastating duo against that right back side for PARO, as there is Namgidema again. Might have been a bit too late, easily read, easily intercepted, but there is the 6th half a dozen already. Calm, composed, and clinical as Tikilazum nets her too. Brilliant team effort all around. It was heroics from Pema Kinzangchoki. Gifted that goal as Ishabida is subbed out for Pinso Charan. Applause flying all around for this flash on that left flank for RTC Women's. It is Punchcharan coming in. Not much time remaining. Less than 5 minutes remain. It is Somnhamon. Brilliant one touch. Tojitin has the opportunity to orchestrate their next goal. Sringlaren sends it up. Dekilazum again. Not quite liking her options. Wants all her teammates to be involved. No slacking off for this team. Zangmo. Definitely could have made a better effort on that pass. But as the patterns have concluded, RTC will get the long ball back again, and it will be their opportunity to get back on the counter. Ball back to Kamudin. Off to Sukmaya. Zangmo. With this much gap, she has the liberty to go up. Namgetema, brilliant timing on that pass. Challenge does come in perfectly. Brilliant tackle there from Tringpelden. He is one of the new signings for PARO Women's from BFF. Youngchin. Plenty of blues inside the box. Not quite strong of a connection on that header, and a goal kick will be awarded to PARO Women's. Less than a minute remain. Locker room conversations with the coach and the players themselves will be quite difficult if PARO Women's go into the halftime break with this scoreline. But the consolation does look more and more distant for them as the clock ticks on. Also up next, we do have highly anticipated opening between Thimphu FC and Thimphu City. Both teams definitely bolstered up their ranks with plenty of signings. And this will be the opportunity to showcase that as RTC has that ball at the edge of the box. It is Kilin Zangmo, will play it high. Uninterrupted, easy header there. Just a bit too under that ball and it goes off. There was that cross. So close to that net. Brilliant positioning. But just slightly under the ball from Pema Kinzang. Gazatsering taking matters into her own hands. Tried to create a miracle on her own, but short stop by that triple team from RTC, and it is space on that right flank. Song Pelzom has been beat. All the space to send that cross in. Went directly for goal. Close goal there from the defender. Just too much of a hesitation in between going for goal and going for an assist. The net was all but open had she gone for goal, but it is things of the past as RTC looking to make another attack. This time it has been intercepted. Tringpelden sends it up. Tringelmo. Pressure up. to Kamayudin. Brilliant bit of skill there, sends it off to Sukumbaya. The sheer confidence and ability on the goalkeeper, what respect. Sammo has Dojiten on that right, will go there. Brilliant turnaround from Dojiten. Namgidema. We've seen what she can do from this range. Can she do it again? Unfortunate placement to end the sheer dominance from RTC Women's in this first half as we end the first half 6 to PARO Women's 0. Goals coming from Pema Kinzang, Som Lamo, Sing Yangchin who has 2 and Dikil Hazum who has 2. And leave the goals. PARO Women's had only 2 or 3 attempts to their name, both coming by the way of Gezan Sring Momo. Hopefully there will be a solid conversation for PARO Women's to get themselves back into this with a proper effort and give the audience a proper match as we go back to our halftime entertainment as we have our very own Achukeng Tala on stage. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, see you after the 15 minutes where we hope to see a much better match from our ladies. And the next match, also as a reminder, we do have Tenchu Gelson's Tempo FC, the Thunderbolts facing off against Tao Tsering, Ogewanchu and the rest, that is Tempo City. It will be a derby and it will be an intense one. So ladies and gentlemen, this was Ugintush Toji. See you all again in the second half.
내것도 지기 전에
주다마비 속에서 남곡해 지는 마음으로 주다마비 쪽에서 주다마비 쪽에서
그렇지. Let's go. Right? 이거 또 진짜 나야 와. 얘나 아마 지금이다. 다 딩딩다 저라. 샤브르키 뉴 타네 베가 danse. Come here. Come here, stress, please. Guys, come here. Come here. Don't doubt it. How can you say that? 제가 너무 많이 전화기 지금 되게 유리장 같았는데 또 때문에 되게 쇼크해요. İnsanlar rengidir. Bir savaşı rahatlar. Bir savaşı Okay. Hari lebi ki nimdina lo gara ki lebi sulo kadin chiwi ki nimji me la kachin se wajin nadi lebi ni lebi ni ki lobzi da ni lebi dis gara re ya si kore chiwi lebi dis not here the teacher also going to the heaven why I'm going to the ears very big there's a problem that's all 당가처럼기 지알로 속에 남강기 녹색하고 남강 생기 셰갈라 나오기 남강 생기 저런 아니야 남기 봉투치 내가 스토리 미디술을 하비 흉기 잘라 가라 공기남 공기치 나는 그 남강 그때 하늘 앞에 대신에 치차집이 되면 미병 배우치 범죄다 실내 흉기 잡다 배우나시 가라 좀 배미상한서 좋아 대비 비니 묘 사드라 판다 공디 전체다 아니 실내 치차적이 날루기 내치 배고 날루기 렘보 배고 날루기 만에 갑배 대가 바지 두서 하나 소라 배라고 그 배우치 같이 나야 돼 또라민도 돼 이런 것도 좀 나라민도 좀 나라 이런 것도 나 팬이 될로 비미디 오늘 대비 마베 마블라고 데 전체들 앞으로 마베 이슬람이디 I'm kind of the indirect in our form. Then we don't go. Kadiasuka, yeah, I'm not a home of a child to see 이 차로 힘을 옮다가 세계에서 멋진 이 노래 좀 세고 때 신다지 하는 간 비수지가 배웠어 샘시스 좀 오면 거래 이제 지그러 잡아 굉장히 가도 진짜 소리가 지금 가진 저는 맞지를 저를 듣는 배우지 얘한번 넘내기 운동
Very 배워진 오킹기 배워진 futbol들이 바로 시리아 RTC 역사입니다. 아니 괜히 선수입니다.
도라니 바로 예치디기 사기니 예치 비치 수도 같이 공기에 나서 공기 그 레시점이 또 알아서 막 알베스가 중국의 공시를 아니 이게 파스타스 레시점이 공기
그래서 좋은
Ladies and gentlemen, Kuzangpo, and welcome back to an epic opening here at Changlimitang between RTC Women's and PARO FC Women. So far, it has been a clinical display from RTC Women's, absolutely shattering the defenses of the new PARO Women's FC side. We are not seeing their international presence. We felt very, very heavily and devastatingly, in fact, in the last season. Right now, RTC has a 6-goal lead against PARO Women's 0. As an update to who are the goal scorers, we have Pemakinzang at 8, 1 goal. Somlhamo number 10, 1 goal. Tring Yangchin, number 18, 2 goals. And Dikil Hazom, number 19, 2 goals of her own as well. There is Somlhamo. Has that attempt, but a bit too relaxed with that shot again to present any real threat. To Dikcharai in goal for PARO Women's. So far, PARO Women's have only managed against RTC FC 6 goals, only 2-3 shots from their side. And 2 of the more dangerous ones came from the way of their new captain, Keza Sringwongmo, a new signing from the Bhutan Football Federation Academy, as there is Namgedema, almost slipped, could have been a penalty, but decided to send it back in Zangmo. Plenty of backspin. Gets right there. Somlhamo on that volley. Close. Too close call there. 2 close calls there for RTC Women's. It could have been their 7th. Victorai unbothered right now. Power in their legs simply missing for RTC Women's. Apologies, PARO Women's. They are not able to send that ball off long at all. Finally, a valiant effort. And brilliant control there. It is won back by Kazatsiring. Kazatsiring one more. Brilliant turnaround. It sets her teammate up. But unfortunate on that pass. As RTC has yet another opportunity, this time goes middle. Somlhamo liking her odds very much coming into this second half, starting it hot, starting off with bullets. Unfortunate for her, it simply hasn't connected in the first few minutes. But it is still too early. And with the lead that RTC has over PARO FC, definitely not a bad shot RTC is taking. Everything seems to be going into the net for them today. And hopefully they can rely on it to widen that gap even more. There is the goalkeeper for RTC, Kamayuddin. So far has shown solid hands, and even more so has shown brilliant playmaking ability, has beaten the press from PARO Women's multiple times with sheer skill and ability. A solid wall at the back for RTC for this season. Unfortunate slip-up, miscommunication on that pass there, and it will be Tashi sending it in for a throw in Sangedema. Bullets it off of Tekil Hazom. Definitely would have hurt. It is one of the tallest players kicking it off against one of the shortest players in the league, I believe. Sangedema, alongside the captain for PARO Women's, have been 2 of the few brilliant, solid performers for the ladies in red today. Throw in for RTC. Brilliant interception there by Sangedema, but does not quite get the rebound. Belden. Brilliant timing. Sets the counter attack on. It is Sukintashi Yudun. Stolen brilliantly by Somlhamo. And it is Tekil Hazom. Namgadema is making that run probably onside, but she thought she was off. Gave up on that run, and it will be possession back for PARO Women's. A hard watch for PARO football fans here in the opening for the BoB Women's National League. They did end last season as runners-up, for those of you who did not know and are tuning in right now. And so far, this has to be the largest margin between the top two teams ever in any competition. 6 goals already for RTC. They will be looking for more. We know that they can get some more out. Gilzangmo on that run, stride for stride. But too much pressure to send a clean pass out to Namgadema. Brilliant acrobatics, stole that ball out of the air. PARO FC forced to settle for a throw-in again. It is PARO. Unfortunate communication there. Ball played middle. There is Tring Yangchin, one of the 2 goal scorers in this match who have 2 to their name and a possible hat-trick at the end of the 90 minutes. Somlhamo only has 1. But the number 10, as we know, will be looking for more. No question of a victory here. No question that RTC will be going away with the 3 points. But the question that remains is how many goals will PARO concede before the final whistle. Promising possession, but given up quite early by Tringelmo. Kezang Tsering Wangmon nowhere near the end of that ball. Completely misread that pass. And it will be RTC on that counter attack. Not quite enough power on that pass, but the slip up from the side of PARO FC does give the edge on that run. Lazom. Amazing physicality from Kid Dynamite. Did have brilliant weather here at Changlimitang to kick things off in the opening. For the opening ceremony and the first half in this clash. But it does seem to be getting quite gloomy. It does seem to be getting dark. Probably auspicious signs for the Thunderbolts that have their matchup later on against Thimphu City. The Tengigleton and Tengineer led Thunderbolts against Dautsering and Thimphu City. Easily stolen by Namgadema, brilliant pace, but slipped, baited the challenge and forced Stringpelton to send it off. It will be a corner, I believe, for RTC Women's. We already have a direct goal from a corner from RTC in this match. Could it be their second? Took too long setting it up. Left foot from Tringhaden. Way over the bar. Off to the futsal ground. PARO FC, as I said, having difficulty earning their possessions on their own goal kicks. The touch on their players have been questionable in this match today. And RTC, on the other hand, completely capitalizing on the opportunities that PARO is presenting them with. Nicolazom. Apologies, Pimakinza. Namgil on the right has Kilizangmo, making that overlap. Somlhamo at the edge of the box will take the shot for herself. Unfortunate swerve on it. And it does curl to the left. Had the one-on-one, no defender in her line of sight. Ball let loose. Sringladen does have the judgment and the turnaround to beat her defender. Teklazo. Brilliant pass curl to Somnamo. Namgadema making that run. Does have the pace. The goalkeeper off the line and perfect timing to snatch it out of that attack. Back to Kilizangmo. Sangidema, brilliant. Booted it out of the air. But it is RTC at the end of it. Again, the same storyline. Possession after possession in this match. PARO FC. This could be promising. It is Ringpelden. Much to the disappointment of the crowd, there was too much panic on that possession. PARO FC having difficulty bringing the ball up front. They do have a solid presence in their captain, but there's only so much one person can do. Had the opportunities to set it off, but Sangidema to deny it on that line, forcing RTC to regroup as the ball is played back. I assume a violation on that throw. And fortunate for PARO FC. Yep, definitely was a foul throw. Possession one back. It will be a turnover again for PARO Women's. There is a lady down. No foul intent on that challenge, just unfortunate contact. Dujiden seems to be okay. Off to the left. Might have been a bit too high, too slow. Easy read there for the goalkeeper. As the ball ambitiously thrown off to get the string one more. But again, a failed effort. On the bright side, and this is the first time in a long while that PARO FC, the PARO Women's FC, has had a solid possession back to back. In the first half, they were denied time and again by the hustle from RTC Women's. But this time, they do seem to be holding on to the ball quite solidly. They are winning it back. They are doing their level best to make this an even matchup. We're going to shoot in. Loses that ball against Sing Youngjin. Namgatima on that right flank, making that run, cross played inside. Outstretched, a brilliant save there from Diksha to deny that cross. Had she been milliseconds late, there was Punsacharan on that left flank, ready to net it in. RTC again left-footed delivery, but it has been flagged as offside. Definitely a stalemate after that entertaining first half from RTC Women's. So far they have been able to find that connection that could lead up into the 7th for the night. We could potentially be seeing hat-tricks from two players in the opening match itself. One, the MVP of last season, Dikil Hazum, as you saw on screen. The another Tring Yangjin. Somlamo, brilliant pass. It is Dikil Hazum. Wants that ball back. Pass played a bit too front. And it will be for the women's. A half-dozen deficit already bad enough as is. PARO Women's. They do have the culture to come back into this with a consolation at least. But so far it is looking like a completely one-sided battering. Half an hour left. Sugmaya. Brilliant job recovering that ball. Somlamo pokes it out to that left. Brilliant timing on that cross. All that's left is the shot. Can she get it off? Not quite. Close call there. Sangidema had that unfortunate contact the second time in this match. Early on, she did have that header that almost went towards her own goalpost as she tried to save it with that header of hers. This time again. Namgadema on that corner. Punched away by the goalkeeper. Second time to deny that shot. Brilliant timing from the goalkeeper. Definitely the first light we've seen. The first spark we've seen for PARO Women's. But will it be enough to mount a consolation for their side as we have substitutions coming in for RTC? Number 6, Sonam Gaki Pelzom coming in, a change in their goalkeeper. Kinzang Jema is also coming in, and Choni Wongmo. 3 more substitutions awaiting their whistle. Finally, the substitutions. It is the goalkeeper Kamiyutin's solid performance coming off. Doji Uden will be coming off as well. And I believe Pima Kinzang Chiki has come off as well. And with that, plenty of fresh legs for RTC to work with. Not like they needed it at all. We do have the men's teams arriving here at Changlimita as we near the end of this bout between RTC and PARO Women's. Unfortunate mistakes coming one after the other, as there was that field control from Pema Yudin. Kilizamo sends it off mercilessly against Singelmo, creeping ever so closer to their opponent's half. Namgadema ambitious. flick, but they do manage to retain possession, and it is throw in again for RTC Women's. Kizamo, plenty of options, plays in middle. Chunyuang Mo definitely getting her nerves out. All the other players on the field have been properly warmed up. It will be hard for the newcomers to get used to the pace that RTC has established already. There is Kilzamo, brilliant power on that long ball, on that throw ball. Sri Yangchen. There is the goalkeeper for PARO Diksha. Despite all the goals they've conceded so far, she has done her level best. Definitely earned the audience's respect with her sheer hustle. There are the first touches for RTC's fresh goalkeeper. Chuni, back to Kakipelzo. Off to Dicky. There's the kid Dynamite again. Brilliant possession there. Sends it off to Somlhamo. Has the run on that left. No defender to challenge it. Has the timing for that cross. Sangedema at the end of it again. A bit weak on that cross. Referee calls that challenge clean. Somlhamo did jump right in between the two defenders. Helped up by Sangedema. And we are back with PARO Women's again on possession. It has been a pick your poison kind of situation, scenario for PARO Women's, especially from the goal kicks. If they play it short, RTC's pace and conditioning leaves no room for hesitation, which PARO is struggling against. And if they send it long, there again RTC is punishing them on the rebounds, on the second balls, on the loose balls. And this time again Namgedema tried to juke her defender off, but does manage to win that throw in for RTC. Kilezangmo, brilliant power and timing on that ball. Namgedema just barely kept it under control. The ball did go off of a touch from off Namgedema, but possession has been awarded. Get Dynamite directly to Dikcha. No mistakes from the goalkeeper on that possession, and this time it will be Kezan one more off against Sugmaya. The captains against each other. Sugmaya forced to send it off left for PARO Women's throw in. It is Tring Peldin on that throw in. Off to that left, gets it back. Perfect timing on that interception. Somlhamo sends it high. Easily intercepted. It is Tashi for PARO Women, sent back to Sangedema. Less than 20 minutes remain, and we have RTC's GS squad back alive after the brilliant first half. Not quite many reasons, but can this be another? Dikcha, brilliant save, second save, and snatches the ball from her feet. RTC ended the first half with 6 goals to their name, and at the 70th minute they are still being kept at 6 goals, and there is only one reason. It is number 21 on goal for PARO Women's. Victor Rai saving shot after shot, denying attack after attack. Offside flag has been raised against Namgedema. Multiple offsides. RTC definitely getting anxious as time passes on. Not because they are on the losing end, but because they know that they can do much more in this match. Sangedema. Unfortunate. Fumble the ball, and it has been sent out. Despite these mistakes, PARO FC at this point, their morale has struck a point where they are not challenging the loose balls quite as well as we know they can. Ball sent out again. Frequent change of possessions. No threat from both teams. RTC doing the better job, but Diksha denying it all. There's Zangmo. Might have been a bit too hard for Namgedema. Throw in by Ugintashi Yujin after Kazasiri Wangmo. It is a two-man partnership up front with Tringelmo. Tringelmo has that pace off to that left. Can she keep it alive? Absolutely bodied by Somgaki. Earning RTC the goal kick, which they calmly set off to Somlamo. Unfortunate slip on that, sends the ball straight to Sangedema, but in a moment of panic sends it up high. Had the space, had she wanted to take it short, but Somlamo get dynamite. Hazom. Zangmo. Somlamo, brilliant one touch. Just not the manpower she wanted at that spot. Had the space though. RTC do manage to win the ball back. Namgedema all alone on that right pass. Does manage to get its way towards her, but a bit too hard on that touch. Almost got it back though. Dikilazum. Pelden. Off to Gintashi Yudin. Dikilazum again. Brilliant save there from Chuni. Trin Youngjin. Offside flag has been raised. Picture. Played off long right to Tsering. Trin Youngjin off to Namgedema. There is Chuni in the middle. Brilliant positioning. From the sub, sends it off. Outside of the foot by Somlamo. Might have been a bit too ambitious for this situation. PARO has exhausted all their options. They are simply outclassed by the 11 that RTC Women's have fielded out here at Changlimitang. It has been a trap that they cannot simply find a way out of. Out of a couple of players, we are seeing plenty of promise. But it is a team game in the end, and one person simply cannot save you unless the others are at a certain standard. RTC complete all around. Solid role players, a solid stars as that shot cross. Was a bit too high from Namgedema. RTC switching sides. This time around, the right side has been a successful formula for them. Again and again, especially with the manpower they have with Kilizangmo and Nangadema Somlamo in the middle. Ball intercepted. Tringyangchen off to Nangadema. Brilliant flick to set herself in that space. Only one to beat. Cross goes inside. Deklasum not quite there. And Sangadema clearance with that left foot to save PARO from imminent danger. It is Kilizangmo. Back to Tringyangchen. Choni a step two behind. PARO. Somgaki sends it off long. RTC has that space in control. Has that shot. Right foot, not quite enough of a danger. RTC definitely winning in terms of possession, but they have lost their edge. There is the lone hope for PARO Women's for a consolation, because it's one with their new captain. Solid by any means, by any standards, but simply too little against the wall that RTC Women's have put up in the back. The first time PARO Women's have managed to win back a loose ball, and it has been raised as an offside. RTC with the opportunity to orchestrate something out of this mess that they have been in for the last couple of minutes. Nangadema urging Kilizangmo to make that run forward. Namge. Cross inside Dikcha again. Almost slipped. Could have been an opportunity for Choni, but solid hands from the goalkeeper. Dikcha plays it long. It will be RTC again, Somlamo. Somgaki. Plenty of space if she wants to take it up herself. Kilizangmo, brilliant touch to distance herself from the defender. Somlamo, brilliant move. Nangadema retreating, decides to play it back to Somgaki. Close pass there, almost intercepted, but does manage to find its way out to Sugmaya. Tringyangchen almost loses the ball. Does manage to get a poke in it. In time, it is Namga on that trade. Has a cutter if she wants. Somlamo had the defender on her back. Found the space, but PARO FC simply giving up the balls. It is back to Tringyangchen. Space for Choni if she wants to take the shot. Instead, a cross goes through to Sonam. But a tad too hard on that touch. Again, if you missed the first half, RTC has a goal from a direct corner. Hopefully we see a recreation of that. They haven't had any success with their later corners, but this time it's perfect. Touch from Choni, not quite enough. This time it is Kazan Mongmo securing the goal kick for PARO Women's. So Gelmo in the middle. Had nobody. With PARO Women's will have to be satisfied to keep the deficit at the point where it is right now. Also, as in the moment of retrospection, a beautiful time to be a sports fan here in Bhutan. For football fans, as you are watching, leagues are finally starting. The National League, the Women's National League and the BoB Premier League, which will be kicking off with a matchup with high expectations. St. Galson Thunderbolts in Thimphu FC versus Thimphu City. Also, if there are any basketball fans as well, the Bhutan A-League did start last week, so we are seeing the top basketball teams duke it out as well in the indoor swimming pool court here in Thimphu. So what better time to be alive as a sports fan here in Thimphu and in Bhutan? Namgetema on that throw-in. RTC definitely looking like they've fallen asleep somewhere in the second half. Although they are keeping the pressure up, they have lost the momentum that they carried over in the first half. All 6 goals in the scoreline right now did come in the first half. There's more on that throw in again, but Choni back to Namge will decide to go for it long. Whistle on that challenge. PARO FC saved again from yet another moment of danger. Dikcha sends it off long as it's almost at the end of it. Tikilazum gets that pass back. Wanted a teammate there, but made that run too early for her teammates to catch up. And however, they are being blessed with the opportunity to regroup. Kilizangmo, first time cross. Not quite as Somnhamo is challenged as it's hitting the ball that too forward. The expectations that PARO Women's came into this tournament and with the performance they are delivering, it is of full understanding that they are facing the full brunt of the pressure of this league. 6-0 on that board on the corner of the field is a glaring sight for all players. But there is Dikcha again. Somnhamo open net and finally, we are back with RTC 7th by way of Somnhamo. Now his second goal of this match. Dikcha, solid goalkeeping, did manage to rescue that ball, trusted her teammates to do something with that recovery. But the pass went straight to that number 10 and they were punished. Brilliant composure, brilliant touch, brilliant placement on that ball. And RTC is now up 7 to PARO Women's 0. RTC finally got a glimpse of their full potential. Did not see that same level of energy that we saw in the blitz and barrages of the first half. But with that goal from Somlamo, hopefully that awakens the rest of the Blues. For women's, does get the ball back. It is looking to shoot in. No room to get a shot off. Somlamo does see Namgadema. She is onside on that right flank. All the base has the space. The goalkeeper off her line if she wants to go for that shot, but poor placement on that shot went straight for Diksha. Brilliant vision there from the number 10. Saw the run. Just got slightly too excited on that pass there, on that finish there. But that early goal from the 7th goal from Somlama does seem to have woken the rest of their teammates up. They know that they can beat PARO Women's if they go all out. The probability of PARO Women's getting a consolation of their own at this point is basically none. So RTC has no benefit playing it safe. The higher, the wider they can improve this margin, the better their odds will be in the league later on. A disheartening 7 goals from the side of RTC, but at the same time we do have to respect the efforts from Diksha Rai, the goalkeeper of PARO Women's, who've kept it at this scoreline from sheer willpower. Brilliant job, one after another. Brilliant long strike, and it will be the 8th for RTC and the 3rd for Tsering Yangchen. What a start to the league with the hat-trick from number 18. Had goal number 1 in the first half, had goal number 2 in the second, and this one, he will make it goal number 3. Diksha tried her level best on that shot, but the ball placed perfectly above her outstretched arms. That shot from Somlama definitely bringing the focus of the RTC ladies back into action. Left-footed delivery inside, intercepted, and it will be our corner. It was the same corner on the other side of the pitch that got RTC that brilliant goal directly from the corner early on. Hopefully we see one more from them. They do have the capacity. At this point, it is proving to be sheer entertainment for the audience that has gathered here in Jianglemitang. Ball placed perfectly inside, but Diksha again hands it off to the captain. Keza Tsering will have to do it all alone. Beat one, but that last touch sent it a step too forward. Diklazum has that one-on-one left foot. Off the right. And unfortunate for RTC. Brilliant pass there. Plenty of flair from Kid Dynamite. Really suits the Diklazum very well. Somlamo, brilliant job intercepting, but it is a step too short. Sukmaya. Off to Kilizangmo. Has plenty of space if she wants to switch things up, but Somlamo. G squad from RTC definitely earning their money's worth here at Changlimitang. Simply concluding the match right here on with Enalebe. But still, plenty more football to go. Should be not that far off until we hear the final whistle. A goal kick has been awarded to PARO Women's, and I do believe that without extra time it will be the last touch that Diksha will have in this match. And there it is. Cheers for RTC. Cheers for the Bhutan Women's National League. What an opening! The two on top of the leaderboards last season, and it has been an absolutely one-sided performance from the side of RTC. There were brilliant spots in PARO Women's. Their goalkeeper, their captain, solid by any rights. But as a team, they simply fell short of the mighty RTC. The weather did reflect the mood of PARO as the match dragged on with goal after goal. But at this point, it is simply congratulations to the reigning champions for a devastating opening statement, and massive respects to PARO Women's FC for the fight they put up today. With the score ending 7-8, apologies, against PARO FC's 0. Ladies and gentlemen, we have opened ourselves up to a league full of expectations in the upcoming matches to come, but even more than that, later on we do have the face-off between Thimphu FC, led by Tinchu Gelson, the Thunderbolts, against Thimphu City FC. Definitely two powerhouses in the BoB Bhutan Premier League, and it's a matchup that all Bhutanese football fans will be looking forward to. But until then, massive applause, massive respect to RTC Women's FC for the solid showing in the opening. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. This was your commentator, Ugantesh Toji. And until then, see you again later on in the face-off between the Thunderbolts and Thimphu City. This was Ugantesh Toji signing off.